Welcome back to Overthink, the Overwatch game show where I ask contestants hot takes and see where they stand. If you're unfamiliar with this series, it's done in the attacker spawn of New Queen Street, with the 3 circles representing the disagree stance, the neutral stance, and the agree stance. The lines in between representing the somewhat stances. If you didn't know, anybody could participate in this game show. I have open signups in my Discord server, so feel free to sign up there. Also, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. As long as this series does well, I'll keep doing more videos. And if you want to suggest any hot takes or themes for future episodes, please comment them down below as well. For today's episode, I've brought on 10 support mains to help answer the question, do all support players think the same? Let's find out. I think Lifeweaver's kit is well made and will do more good for the game than bad. Go. Wow, we already have a very split thing going on. Okay.
I think he's very interesting because it's all about repositioning your team somewhere else. On top of that, we do need a support counter for tanks that go live because I am tired being targeted.
I think 3 of the scariest words in Overwatch are new support hero, because Anna released and she was busted, and then Brig released and she was busted, and like Mercy was reworked and she was busted. It's like anything that isn't like power creepy, anything that seems like kind of interesting, like not just bam lots of healing focus, I'm down for that. So I'm slightly agree.
There is like a lot of bad things about it. Trolling and all that. People would definitely need to get used to him and his kit.
I don't see his utility past high ground, and probably going to be very obnoxious to play with. Something to get used to, and I don't think I'm ready for that change. And I don't think the high ground utility is very good either. Very trolly.
Mercy is one of the easiest supports. Go.
I don't think Mercy is like skillless or anything. Like there's a lot of skill in Guardian Angel. My problem with Mercy is that I wish she had more skill than Guardian Angel, because there's a lot of damage boost skill, there's a lot of awareness, but most heroes have that on top of everything else, on top of like 2 or 3 utility abilities, on top of aiming.
I think I have to talk as a Mercy main. Is Mercy easy to play? This is gonna be controversial. She is. However, I have seen some god-awful Mercies. There's so much more to Mercy that meets the eye, but like Mercy is such an easy character to get into. You can't deny that she is made to be one of the easiest supports. It's in her kit. Like that's how she's made. Like you don't need to aim, you know. It's all about game sense rather than like, you know, some of the other characters like Ana or like Baptiste.
I think that she is like not really hard with like aiming and other things like that. But when it comes to game sense, like who to target, who to damage boost and heal bot and that type of things, and also Guardian Angel, it makes her like a lot more harder than what other people might think.
First of all, Moira is the easiest support. Don't at me. You throw out orbs like it's candy on Halloween. You have the easiest escape in any situation. Mercy, I feel like, yes, you do have some downtime. Yes, there are days where you're just standing there with a beam. I've never seen enemy teams jump a support like they jump Mercy. So if you add that in to what should theoretically be a quote easy support, it makes it much more difficult because everybody wants you dead.
What does everybody think that the easiest support is like in the game, if you had to narrow it down to one?
Moira.
I would agree with
Moira then Brig.
Moira.
DPS is the easiest role in the game. Go.
So I feel like a good tank and good support can carry a team anywhere. DPS, your main objective is to get eliminations. Tanks have a lot more to worry about. You gotta worry about the enemy team. You gotta worry about where your team is. Supports have to worry about literally everything under the sun. You have to worry about the enemy team. You have to worry about your team. You have to worry about staying alive.
I agree with everything that Swank said. It's very like low skill for with a very high skill set. It's like this whole game. This game is very hard to play, but I think DPS have like one of the easier times.
I think what can make them difficult, aside from like knowing how to aim, is being, I guess, independent in a way, or like especially if you're playing a flank hero and you don't have a pocket, you kind of have to rely on yourself and like make sure that you know you don't get hit as much and you land your shots.
I hard disagree because I believe that this whole game is very skill based. Like there's no such thing as easiest role to play. You have to know how to play each character, and that's how the game works.
I mostly just play one hero. Go.
One trick
yeah.
by choice.
I'm also one trick by choice, actually. Unless you were being paid to play Overwatch and all that stuff, I honestly think that you can force any character and you'll be fine. Maybe it's because I play Mercy. I forced Mercy when Kiriko Lucio was like the it comp to run for support, and I've still found my success. If you are good enough at your support, you can climb. And if you can't, then I'm sorry, it's a skill issue.
I feel a lot of Lucio players feel this way. I like Lucio so much that my next most played heroes are Junker Queen and Winston because they're the most similar to Lucio. Besides that, I 100% agree with everything Pirate said about team comp not mattering. Morph meta Lucio was terrible. Morph meta was the highest SR I've ever been in one-tricking Lucio. I hit rank 1 before LQ.
For this one, I just kind of wanted to see where you guys stood, but it also kind of leads into our next question. The people in the agree circle, please don't hate me for what I'm about to do. I don't like when I get one tricks on my team. Go.
I'm gonna be honest, if I see another Mercy main on my team, I love y'all, but I'm sorry. Give me Mercy.
The reason I'm neutral is because I think when someone's a one trick, like, it usually means that they're very knowledgeable about their one trick. It can just be frustrating if it's like a one trick Zen and the other team is cranking out damage and a Zen can't keep up with the heals.
As a mega flex myself, I don't mind if somebody is a one trick. I just like the option that if the enemy team is making that specific pick not great anymore and you're not bringing a lot of value to the team, that you might at least have one thing in your back pocket that you could pull out that might be able to give your team that edge.
I don't really care about one tricks. You one trick the hero, you're shit, you're shit. If you're not, you're not, you know, you'll get avoided if you're shit. But if I take Mercy and then next round you take it and you main her, I'm like, you need to speak up. If you can't speak up about your hero, that's when I'm like questioning your one trick ability. I actually dislike when people are like, oh my god, you know, I wanted Mercy, I main Mercy. I'm like, you could have just asked, you know, like, you don't have to throw, because if you're a one trick, sometimes you're shit at other heroes, so I would just suggest, please ask.
Game sense is way more important than mechanical skill. Go.
So I play competitive Splatoon actually, and game sense is really important in that game because you got to know when to pop your special and when. It's very similar to this game, I guess. Like if you know when to pop an ability in this game, you could do more than like, oh, I killed that guy, because you can just wait for your DPS to kill somebody. I think it's more so just like when you use your abilities is very important. And that's compared to, you know, I got a headshot, Lamau.
I think game sense is so important that it's more important than mechanical skill, even on mechanical heroes, because especially in higher ranks, you see this a lot. Once people get to like Master GM, lots and lots of people have very good mechanics, but the actual difference is prediction. Because if you know when someone's going to ult and what they're going to do before they do, that is way better than mechanics, because that can even help your mechanics.
I agree with what the agree people were saying. Mechanical skills can only get you so far. Overwatch is so heavily based in knowing what's going on in our very, very crazy game. And if you don't have game awareness of what's happening, what the enemy team's going to do, where they are, etc., what your team's doing, it doesn't matter how good your mechanical skill is. Sometimes you're just going to get run over by it.
I think that mechanics are somewhat better, or at least a bit more better than having skill, because I've had many instances where like paying attention to what's going on in the game has helped me more than it has like just getting all the shots or like, you know, doing, you know, very good in the kill feed.
So like as a Zen main, I might be a little like biased a bit, but like I feel like aim is very important for like Zen, like knowing stuff. I know that game awareness is important, but for characters that I play, which is mainly Zen, I feel like knowing how to aim, like playing Val and stuff, which really helped with my headshots and things like that, have really helped me climb like the ranks way more than my game sense has over time. I feel like early game sense was very important, but now it's more getting that aim and getting that good aim where it can hit headshots consistently is way more important right now.
Some games I can just be so chill, but if I know what I'm doing, that's why I'm like, as long as I know that, I think I'm comfortable. But this is also a Mercy main speaking, so sometimes these games are either really slow and you really just chill out, and then other games like, okay, I'm in the mood, I can do this, do that, I'm really excited. It's just how my perspective in the games have been.
Support is the most impactful role in the game. Go.
I think that support and tank are like paired in most impactful, but I think support is more impactful because of like heals and speed boost and damage boost and other things that can make other players and other roles more powerful and more impactful.
I would say yes, tank and DPS can absolutely change the pace of a game, but supports are mostly like the playmakers. There's so much value from their capabilities, getting a risky res off that changes the flow of the game, a good Ana, a good Zen, etc. So I would say it's hard to say that they're the only like the most impactful, but I would say they're damn close.
There's been so many games where like our tank just isn't picking up the slack they need to pick up, or maybe our DPS just isn't doing what they're doing. Like all roles have to, all roles have to do their own thing, and I don't think there's one role that like does more than the other.
Actually, my opinion is the same as the person who spoke before me. That's it, because like this is a team play game. Like if you have a good tank and you have a good DPS and support, you're gonna have fun. If you're not gonna win, at least have fun.
So before we go into this one, I have a question for you guys. So are you guys all like involved in like Overwatch Twitter to some extent?
Yes.
Is anybody
Unfortunately.
So if you're not involved on Twitter like at all, can you guys step all the way forward towards like the spawn? All right, because this is kind of like leaning towards like the community outside of like the game itself, like on Twitter and stuff like that. Some support heroes have a very whiny and entitled fan base. Go.
Okay, so when Mercy was reworked, a few years back, they removed multi-res, and they made her the strongest any hero has ever been in the entire game's history. Do you want to know what the community reaction was? The community reaction was that she was way too weak, and then she dominated the game for 8 months, and it was miserable. I think that's about as entitled as it gets.
Makes it even funnier that you sound like you're on the verge of tears.
Memories.
I wouldn't say support's the most whiny. I would say they get the most like backlash. But I would say DPS is a little bit more whiny when it comes to like what they won't get or what happens to other characters. They always feel like they have to speak up about it, I feel like. But yeah, supports can still be whiny, like why am I not getting this, or we should get this, or a tank should be this, you know, that kind of stuff. So
I guess like for background of what I'm gonna say, I'm blocked by Arya Rose. So do I think that Mercy mains complain a lot? Yes, but I also think that's because, let's be honest, Mercy is probably one of the most popular heroes. Do I think that some of them complain? Yes. Do I also think it's a skill issue? Also yes. I also think that like the Mercy players that were complaining are also ass. So love ya.
Where I'm at, I believe we're all equally whiny. What I think, though, is that supports have been pooped on time and time again over the years, and I feel like we're just more impassioned about it and maybe just a little bit tired about things, and maybe that's why it seems like we get that kind of rep, but I do believe that all the roles are equally whiny about anything that concerns it.
Girl Boss, you said that you wanted to sneak your way in. You could sneak your way in if you have a stance on it.
I was gonna say Mercy players. Like I see, like I'm on TikTok, and I just see so many Mercies that are just like, I didn't get the DPS. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like people just went crazy off their high horses for no reason, and think there is a lot of very entitled people in this game.
I think that supports are the least whiny role. Considering like DPS, I've had my experiences in like the 7 months that I've been in Overwatch. I'm sorry, but battle mercies sometimes are annoying. When they like when they nerfed the Guardian Angel, in TikTok specifically, there were some mercy mains that were like, no, but what are you doing? Mercy isn't meta. When she was meta, the one-shot meta was going around with Sojourn and Widowmaker. I was kind of annoyed by that, but overall, like the support players aren't whiny compared to the DPS.
Okay, so I just want to go one by one and ask you all. So to reiterate, the question is, some support heroes have a very whiny and entitled fan base. In just one word, I just want you guys to tell me what hero you think it is. So starting with Girl Boss.
Mercy.
Dust?
Can I say 2?
Sure.
Mercy and Brick.
Gabby?
Yeah, I guess if I had to say one, probably Mercy.
Okay, Peachy?
Yeah, I'll agree with Mercy.
Pirate Walnut?
Mercy, and it's specifically the plot ones.
Swanks?
Mercy, but it's totally valid.
And then Virus?
Mercy.
Damn. Any Mercy players in the chat? How are y'all feeling? Any plot Mercy? I was kidding.
You know what?
All
If
right.
you're a plot Mercy, I hope you cope, Steed.
So I hope none of you guys enjoy Twitter because you're all gonna get canceled by the Mercy community. I already see it coming. No, I'm just kidding.
2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I play easy mode and I play to win. I love to die and I like to BRB. All systems checked out. Group up with me. 2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I'm here to party. GG. A giant gorilla can keep up with me. You can't